Hey, what's up, buddy?
What's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, bro? How you been?
Doing good, doing good.
Watch the game right now?
Yeah, yeah. A little mini heart attack here.
They're winning 1-0 so far, right?
Yeah, still. I mean, the Juve's attacking right now. Vlahovic just had a nice shot on goal, but so far, yeah, they're hanging on.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, awesome. You guys ready?
Is Dylan joining or no?
I don't know. I asked him to join, so when he joins, I guess we'll just start. We'll start with him now. It's up to you.
All right, we can start.
Okay. Hey, what's up, guys? We are the 90-Minute Club. At the 90-Minute Club, use the hashtag 90-Minute Club to please follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Twitter, and also watch our videos on YouTube as well. Please like and subscribe. The beautiful game is always 90 minutes or more. And we did a special guest tonight on the bottom left corner, as you can see. His name is Gianmarco. He's a big Inter fan. Can you please tell me about yourself?
Yeah, man. No, I appreciate you guys having me on. Yeah, I mean, growing up being an Inter fan from Long Island originally, but now I live in North Carolina. My father got me hooked at a young age. But yeah, I've been following the team pretty much most of my life, and now we're doing the time trying to make it.
Can you guys hear me? Hello? I'm sorry about that. I couldn't hear you. Can you say it again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries, man. Yeah, no, I've been watching. Like I was saying, I've been watching Inter pretty much my entire life. You know, my dad got looked at it. I probably the follow besides my hockey team. Yeah, that's how I got started.
Okay. I have another question for you. Your name on Twitter is It's the Sauce Boss. How'd you get that name? That is the coolest name I've ever seen.
I got that. I can't take credit for that. I did take that from. I don't know if you ever heard of Epic Mealtime, but that's,
yes, I did. They're awesome on YouTube.
So yeah, I got it from them. I mean, obviously, being a town, awesome. Fell in love with that show and that little sketch. That's a pretty good thing. I'm gonna use that from now on.
I like.
So, guys, what's happening right now? For Coppa Italia, what's happening right now?
So right now it's 1-0. I mean, Inter got that early goal. Juve is kind of bringing the attack back onto Inter. So it's I mean, it's a little hectic right now. A little worried with the way they're defending and letting Juve bring it back in. I feel like they should kind of.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm going to go with you, Acast. I know you're a big Inter fan as well. I know Acast for a long time. We've been really, really good friends. You're a good Inter fan, a big Inter fan. What do you think of the results so far in the 28th minute?
Well, great start, Barella, with the amazing goal. Juve came back a little bit. Handanovic just a couple minutes ago made a huge save on Vlahovic. So I hope we don't start sitting back way too early for that. But I'm confident right now.
Okay. And guys, if you don't know this, you can watch the game on CBS Sports Network and Paramount Plus as well, where you can watch other Coppa Italia and Serie A games. So if we're going off the standings with just Serie A in general, as of now, this is what I've researched the last time. So AC Milan right now would win the league with 80 points. Inter in second with 78. Then you have Napoli with 73. Juventus with 69, Lazio with 59, and Roma with 59. Lazio, Roma, and Fiorentina are all fighting for the Europa League spot, which will be determined at the end of the year, and also depending what happens with Roma with the Conference League. I believe if they do win, they get an automatic spot in the Europa League. So another thing I want to talk to you guys about is whoever can start off first. I know it's very, very tough. We already know technically Venezia is in Serie B. It's going to take a miracle for them to actually stay in the Serie A. And the relegation battle is pretty much right now it's between Salernitana, Genoa, and Cagliari. If you look at these clubs, these bottom three, bottom four clubs, who do you think's gonna be safe? Who do you think is gonna come out? I'm gonna go with you, Gianmarco.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the relegation, I would say it's exciting right now than the battle for who's going to win the Scudetto. I mean, right now, I would say with the way that they're playing, I would say Salernitana. I feel like they're just really dug themselves out of a deep hole there. I'd be kind of surprised if they weren't able to keep this momentum going. Personally, I would want Genoa to make it as well. If there was some kind of way that Sampdoria could kind of slip into the bottom three, I'm not really any team that employs Marco Giampaolo. I don't think they should be staying up. To be quite honest, it's very ugly. And Alexander Blessin, since he's taken over Genoa, has had. I mean, the way that they played against Inter, I was truly impressed. They didn't sit back and just defend either. They did try to bring the game to them, and they were able to steal a point. Cagliari, I mean, I feel like they're destined to go down, but I think right now with the way it is, it's going to be Cagliari, Genoa, and Venezia staying in the bottom three, and unless by some miracle, Samp can crash out as well.
Acas, what's your thoughts on the bottom three? Who's going to go to the bottom three?
Well, Inter plays Sampdoria either this week or next week. I forgot. They're one of the remaining games, so I mean, hopefully we could push them down more. Obviously. For us, it's 2 must-win games, the last two games of the season. So I wish Venezia could have stayed up. They were a really cool story, but they just didn't have enough. And I do hope Salernitana stays up. We haven't seen them, I don't think, ever in my lifetime, at least in Serie A. So that would be another cool story for them to stay up. I'm rooting for them, and. Yeah, I think it will stay the same with Cagliari and Genoa going down with Venezia. That's what I'm hoping as well.
Another thing I want to mention is also that so far guaranteed, Lecce and Cremonense have already booked their ticket in the Serie A. I know the last time I believe Lecce was in the Serie A, I think it was a couple of years ago, maybe 3-4 years ago. I remember they played Napoli a long time ago. They had Di Michele, which is a superstar player. I remember back in the day with Lecce. Cremonese, I don't know much about. I'm going to be honest with you, but it's nice to see them in. And then obviously the last spot will be determined in a kind of playoff bracket, and those games will be available on Fox Soccer Plus. Anything you guys want to mention on Lecce and Cremonese joining the Serie A?
Didn't Monza secure a spot too? I thought, or am I totally off?
They did. Because I think for Serie B, it's the first 2 automatically qualify, and then
first 2, and then the third's a playoff.
Yeah. So how many are in the playoff?
I think it's 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th are in the playoff.
Okay, so yeah, right now it would be Pisa, Monza, Brescia, and Ascoli. Mick, you're on mute, by the way.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry about that. I apologize about that.
So I mean, I'm gonna try to watch those playoff games because we got some possibly new teams coming into Serie A for first time in a while. I know we've seen Brescia, Ascoli in the past, but I don't know if Monza has ever been. And I know that was Balotelli's old team, right? He played for them for a little bit.
Yes, Balotelli did play for Monza, but yes, he also did play for Brescia as well. Brescia back in the day had a very, very good team. You had Luca Toni, Roberto Baggio on the same team, by the way, as well. And I believe Andrea Pirlo played for Brescia too as well. Not that long, but he did play as well. By the way, if you guys want to mention an update on the match, by all means you can, because I know how our streams are going to work. Somebody scores first. If you guys want to mention any updates, you can. We'll also update you guys as well. You guys can watch the match at CBS Sports Network and Paramount Plus. Obviously, we're talking about Inter, and you guys are big Inter fans, and then we're going to talk about the first match, Inter against Empoli. Inter won the match 4-2, and we're going to start off with the shocker. Andrea Pinamonte, former Inter player, scores in the first 5 minutes. Interesting fact, he has 12 goals this season. And then obviously the 28th minute, there was Alisani scores the second goal with Shakhsina Sudin Giuseppe Meazza. When the second goal happened, whoever wants to start first, I know you're a bit Inter fans. This is why I got you on talking about this match. Is there anything you guys want to add when you saw Empoli winning 2-0 in this match?
You go. You go.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, seeing with the way that game started, I had a bad feeling that Pinamonti was going to be the guy to score the first goal, if they were going to even score a goal in that matchup. So it was only fitting. I'm glad he honored what he said, though. He said if he did score, he wouldn't celebrate, which I think I respect him even more for that. I mean, I do feel bad he's not even a part of the team, and I kind of wish that he would be in the rotation instead of some other players, but it is what it is. And they came out fearless. I was very impressed with the way that they were just bringing the game to Inter. Between him and then Aslani, who's the midfielder that I know Inter's looking at. I think they kind of went away from Fratesi. They're really interested in this kid as like a vice Brozovic, which I mean I'd be totally okay with that with the way he plays. But yeah, going down too early, two goals early was very nerve-wracking. I was like, great. What are we gonna do? Are they gonna have they don't have Conte managing the team anymore, so they don't really I haven't seen that kind of fire back. And as soon as they gave up that second goal, Dumfries kind of looked around, kind of tried to get the team to calm down, and they obviously you could see how they were able to bring it back by halftime and then put the game to rest. Thank goodness. And I thought it was a very comfortable win. Once they realized what was at stake, and I'm very very happy with the outcome.
Yeah, obviously.
Cass, any thoughts on that? I'm sorry.
Obviously, I texted you once we went down 2-0, and I was not confident. I said, congratulations to AC Milan on the Scudetto. But the main reason, because I knew we had to win. Like a tie wouldn't get the job 4-3. God, we did. And the thoughts on Pinamonti, I couldn't be happier for him. He's been sent on loan for a couple of years now, and like I said in the past, I would be interested in having him on the first team next season to replace Dzeko, and I think next season could be his chance, and yeah, I'm excited because for all the talk about Scamacca and whoever Dybala, he's just as young as Scamacca. Has the same amount of goals as him, so. And we don't have to buy him. He's ours. So I don't see why not. We would just keep him for next season.
I love that. And obviously, we go into the second half, and Mr. Inter Milan, I feel like Mr. Inter Milan, like you should make the stadium after this guy, maybe in like about 5-10 years. The man is Lautaro Martinez. I know that an own goal was scored by, the first goal was scored by own goal from Empoli, and then obviously Inter with the 2-1 kind of breaks the deadlock 2-1. The own goal was by Simone Romagnoli. His brother Alessio Romagnoli plays for AC Milan, which is kind of funny because like AC Milan and Inter are fighting the Scudetto spot, which is pretty interesting. And then Lautaro Martinez just keeps scoring goals, goal scoring machine. Ties the game 2-2 to keep the Scudetto hopes alive. His 17th goal of the season, absolutely amazing. He does it again, makes it 3-2. Alexis Sanchez flushes the game in the 93rd minute and scores to lock up all 3 points for Inter. That's Alexis Sanchez's 5th goal of the season. Lautaro Martinez, I think it's 18th goal of the season. And then he's in the second place for Capocaporia, Alexis Lautaro Martinez. And the images at Meazza were absolutely incredible. I remember I was talking to you, and you texted me like, "Oh, we're not going to win." And I texted you, I said, have faith. I said, Inter is going to win this game. And out of nowhere, when the own goal was put in, I said, there's faith. And then when Lautaro Martinez scores, this guy is a goal-scoring machine. He scores goals as easy as it to make an empanada. This guy is fantastic. I'm sorry, I talk about food a lot if you guys know, but I love to eat. I'm Italian. I'm fat. I'm sorry to say it. But if you're Inter right now, is the Scudetto race alive? I'm going to start with you, Gianmarco.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, I get annoyed on Twitter when I see a lot of Interisti who are quick to say, oh, congratulations, Milan, oh, this and that. It's not over. Anything can happen. Atalanta could win the game. this weekend, which would be massive for them, for our hopes. But, Atalanta and Sassuolo, even though they're having kind of down years for their standards, they could easily steal a game at any point. I'm not going to give up hope. I think it's going to come down, truthfully, to the last season. And realistically, as long as we win our games, keep the pressure on Milan, I think it's totally up for grabs. And I think that, truthfully, I do think that we're gonna come away with it one way or another. So whether it's a loss, 2 draws, I think we're gonna be able to get it though.
What's your opinion on this, Ant?
Yeah, I mean, obviously our schedule, the last 2 games is easier, but AC Milan's just been on fire. I think they're on the longest unbeaten streak in Europe right now, so it's not going to be easy. But I have to have faith in Atalanta and Sassuolo to at least maybe force the tie for one of them. I know, obviously, if we ended up tied in points, they would get it. So we do need a loss or 2 ties. Yeah, but I still have faith. I know we could get the job done, and it just we have to hope that AC Milan drops points.
Very briefly, I'm just going to mention the other matches. There's Genoa Juventus. Genoa won the match 2-1, which was the biggest shocker of the week, in my opinion. Dybala scores an absolute gorgeous goal in the second half, his 10th goal of the season. Late in the 87th minute, you have Gudmundsson for Genoa ties the match. And then the 90th minute, 90th minute, Moise Kean misses a sitter to win the game, which we'll discuss that later on. And the 95th minute, Domenico Criscito for Genoa scores the penalty, secure all 3 points, and especially a huge 3 points, especially they're battling in the relegation battle. One thing I want to mention to you guys, if you're Moise Kean and you had that chance and you miss, obviously you did, what's going through your mind? I'm going to go with you, Acast.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I don't like Juventus. I was root for them to lose, but I am a big fan of Moise Kean, and I never want to see that, especially with the struggles Italy has right now for strikers. So we really need him to start putting these in the net and show the potential that he's supposed to have. So I don't like to see him not perform, but good for Criscito and Cagliari, because that was a huge win for them.
And obviously, I'm going to go with you, Gianmarco. My question is for you about Dusan Vlahovic. Amazing player. Had a fantastic season with Fiorentina, with Juventus. He's on the iffy right now, and especially with Allegri, a lot of problems are happening. On the bench, he had a lot of emotions, crying. He's not getting the best season. Do you think Dusan Vlahovic is going to leave, or next year is going to be his year for Juventus?
Yeah, I don't think with the amount of money they spent to bring him in January, I don't think there's really any chance of him leaving. I definitely see he's frustrated. I think, the tactics that they play with and then the style of game, it's not very fitting for the striker that he is. I feel like Italiano with Fiorentina, he had a more free-flowing offensive style game where he had the team kind of work to get the balls to Vlahovic, where that's not the case with Juventus, where I think Allegri kind of focuses obviously more on the defensive side, but also team first, not just worried about who gets the goals and what. I don't think he's going to go anywhere. I think that next year they're going to this is why I think it's so important for Inter to win the Scudetto this year, because I think with the amount of money that Juve is going to put into the team in the summer market, whether it be, new defenders, new midfielders, make sure that they have the best players around to surround Vlahovic. I think it's important that Inter definitely take advantage of the opportunity now before every other team strengthens in the summertime, where based on reports you're seeing in Italy, I don't know if Inter's going to have that much to, if anything, really, to be able to invest in the team.
Okay. Do you guys still want to talk about this match, or we'll move on to the next one on the list?
No, you can move on.
The next match we have is Torino against Napoli. Napoli won 1-0. In the first half, it was a very tight game. It was, I would say, very defensive, nothing flowing, nothing going around. If Napoli did win the match, it would basically secure the third place spot, in my opinion. Lorenzo Insigne gets a penalty, takes it in the top right corner. Great save by Torino's goalkeeper Berisha. which, by the way, he's a very good goalkeeper by a fantastic season. And thank the Lord Fabian Ruiz scored in the 73rd minute to give Napoli the winning goal. He's done it not only in this game and in the big game against Lazio. He's done it a month ago or so. So he's been a player. Like, sometimes he comes off form and sometimes he does come in form. Overall in the match, I believe Osimhen played pretty well. He had a couple of chances, but for me, Lorenzo Insigne got me frustrated. As soon as he missed that penalty, he had a one-on-one chance, and he had Elmas on the right. Instead of passing Elmas, you take the shot, and obviously the Torino defender blocked the ball. Right there, you need to pass the ball to Elmas, and hopefully it's a 2-1 chance. You got to put that in back of the net. And sometimes that's where the cockiness comes from, Lorenzo Insigne. And I don't know if it's because the Toronto transfer is happening or obviously too much pressure on him, but this week will be his last game in Naples, and I would love to see him score a goal and salute and do everything he can. I hope he has a phenomenal season in Toronto, and I hope the best for him. But God bless that Napoli got the third place. What's up, Dill? How you doing?
What up?
In the bottom right corner, we got Dylan Perrone, DP, or sometimes they call him Roman Reigns as they acknowledge him. A low joke on that. Big Roman Reigns fan, by the way. I'm going to start with you, Dill, obviously. I know the Scudetto race is tight right now with Inter and Milan. Right now, Inter and Juventus, right now they're playing the Coppa Italia match, which is 1-0, by the way, for Inter. 45th minute. You can watch the game on Paramount Plus and CBS Sports Network. What's your opinion on the season so far, Dill?
I think Inter saved their season. They were losing, and I think Ant said it was over. Then they ended up coming back. Their last game, where they went 4-2, 4-1, something like that.
4-2, yeah.
Yeah, which was
4-2.
Which was definitely saved their season. It seems like it's just between them and Milan, like whoever's going to lose first. And AC Milan didn't back down, and they took care of business versus Verona. I think they started off losing, right? And then they came back and scored 3 straight. So,
Yep.
It's still AC Milan's division to lose. The only 2 games left. I think I'm looking right now. Milan plays Atalanta and Sassuolo. Not easy games, but obviously not the hardest games. And then Inter has Calgary and Sampdoria, looks like. So I think it's Milan's division to lose at this point.
Do you guys want to move on to the next match or no? It's up to you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, the next match was Verona against Milan. Before the match, I was like saying to myself, maybe we could see a tie, maybe. Verona shocks the Rossoneri in the 30th minute with a goal by Faraoni. By the way, the Atletico Madrid coach, what's his name? Giovanni Simeone, his son, phenomenal kid. That kid, if I'm Milan or Inter, I would push for him. Giovanni Simeone, I would push anything for him. But besides that, Verona starts the game in the 38th minute. Faraoni scores. And then Sancho Tonali ties the game in the first half with assist by Rafael Leao. Sancho Tonali scores to make it 2-1. Second goal of the game. And Rafael Leao has his 6th goal of the season this year. Sancho Tonali has 5 goals, 2 assists this season. And Alessandro Florenzi, gorgeous goal to secure Milan's 3 points to make it 3-1. Interesting fact about Alessandro Fiorenzi, his last goal was against Empoli on December 22nd. Another interesting fact about that. And obviously, I know we have Inter fans and we have, / Premier League fans. And obviously a Napoli fan, me as well. Do you think Milan is going to win the Scudetto, yes or no? I'm going to go with you, Gianmarco. You start first.
Yeah, no, I'm still going to say that I think Inter's going to win the Scudetto. I mean, I know it's in Milan's hands, but I also think that, aside from Ibrahimovic and Giroud, none of these players have had experience knowing how to close out a season to win a title. It'll be very interesting to see. I mean, I do think they are obviously in a better position But when I watched them play, and I did pay close attention to the Verona game, obviously I wanted Verona to win. I was hoping Tudor would do us a favor, and either Simeone or Caprari would be able to do something in that game. But, they kind of – it almost like they were afraid of them. And then Milan does the same thing where they do try to, play the game through Leao. And I don't know why no team overloads that side and tries to negate him to force other people to beat him. Brahim Diaz can't do anything. Salamakers hasn't been able to be impressive. They just keep going down to Leao. He beats his man, and he gets a ball into somebody, and they're able to get a tap in. I think once a team recognizes how to stop that, that'll be beneficial, obviously, to Inter, but it'll also help that team be able to shut them down because they seem to run the same plays over and over again. But I'm hoping, obviously, selfishly hoping Inter are able to pull it off and win the Scudetto.
ACAS, any thoughts on AC Milan on the match or just ongoing the season on their hopes?
Yeah, like I said, I'm still confident, but the last few weeks have been frustrating because it seems like AC Milan goes down by a goal every game and they somehow end up winning. A couple of games were from mistakes from the other team. This game, they dominated the second half. So very frustrating. I think no biases, but Inter has been the best team in Italy this season. The goal
Can't deny that.
The goal differential shows that. The trophies show that, but nothing we could do. We just, like I said, have to take care of our own business and pray.
Dylan, I want to add any thoughts on AC Milan and the match? We're just on their Scudetto hopes.
No, I still think it's Milan's to lose. So I think if they win and then they tie their next one, that would probably force they're up 2, so that would force Inter to win out.
If they win and tie, they win.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, what if they win and tie and Inter wins out? Then they both have the same amount, right?
Yeah, and for some reason,
yes,
does head to head for tiebreakers, not goal difference.
Okay, so that changes things. So I mean, Inter really needs a loss from Milan. Then even a tie is not necessarily good unless they tie 2 in a row.
Yeah.
So I think the odds are probably just in AC Milan's favor. And yeah, Inter's been playing well, but it looks like they've kind of just ran out of time. I think dropping that, what was the game, 2 weeks ago we were watching versus Bologna. That's probably going to come back to bite them in the ass. I know that they dominated that game. It was a good goalie error, right?
Goalie error, yes.
Yeah, so even a tie could have saved them better than, getting no points from that. So I think that'll probably bite them in the ass. I'll probably still go with Milan, but it looks like Inter needs to pray for them to lose a game.
On the next match, I just want to discuss one thing. I don't know if you guys know, obviously you guys know, Leonardo Spinazzola, national team player, hasn't played a game since he injured his leg in the Belgium game in Euro 2020/2021 because of COVID. What a beautiful thing to see him on the pitch in the 90th minute, just to come on for those couple minutes and just see them around the applause in the stadium, and just in general, we're glad to have him, and just for the national team is lucky to have him. Any thoughts on Spinazzola and on obviously the last 2 matches with Roma, or just the national team moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, I think we all fell in love with Spinazzola in the Euros. He was just probably the best player in the whole tournament until he got injured. And Italy missed him dearly. We see that in the qualifying. And it's amazing to see him back, and it's a big boost for Roma, who has a huge final coming up. So hopefully he could play a part in that.
And you guys want to add anything on Spinazzola?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, he's one. I think he was probably the most important player in that European tournament for Italy. Obviously, for qualification was definitely a big thing. It's good for Roma too. I think that he is a player that will be integral to Mourinho's success next season. So I think it'll be not only just good for the national team, but I think good for Roma forward.
Dylan, want to add anything on the topic, or?
No, I think we're good on that. I mean, everyone loves him. He was a beast, and just looking forward to seeing him back.
We're going to move on to the Premier League. Big 2 matches that happened. Liverpool and Tottenham. Liverpool and Tottenham tied 1-1. Tottenham actually shocked Liverpool first in Anfield as the South Korean sensation Sung Ho Min scores to give Tottenham the 1-0 lead so far. Sung Ho Min scored, and he has his 20th goal of the season. Absolutely outstanding by this kid. The lead didn't last for long as Luis Diaz scored to make it level 1-1. His fourth goal in only 11 games. He's transferred from Porto. And also he scored also a goal in the Villarreal match, the semifinal as well. He's on fire right now in both competitions for Liverpool. And Liverpool also has to play the FA Cup final as well. If we talk about Liverpool, do they have a chance to win the Premier League? Let's go with you, Dill, since you're the big Premier League guy. Dill, you're there? All right, let's go with you, Ant. What do you think of Liverpool winning the Premier League this year?
Yeah, I think obviously they have a chance still, but I'm going to say Man City are the favorites, especially after losing in the Champions League now. That's their main focus. And obviously Liverpool has the FA Cup as well. So I think Man City has one thing to play for, and they're in the lead right now, I think, right? And they're
I believe Man City's up by 3 points, I believe.
3-1 they're winning right now versus Wolves as we speak.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I think
3.
Yeah. I think Man City will get the job done, but Liverpool has I don't know if it's more important things, but they do have other things to focus on. So
Dill, any thoughts of Liverpool on the Premier League this season?
Liverpool. I saw the tie. I think that's big, but their probably main focus on is going to be winning the Champions League now. So I think I guess it would be nice for Man City fans to at least get a trophy here. So I could see them probably winning out, but also want to say that shout out to Arsenal for being in a Champions League contention right now.
That's awesome. I know. Last time Arsenal won the Champions League, I think
a couple of years,
3-4 years ago, I think.
Yeah,
a couple years ago.
4 or 5 years ago.
Gianmarco, I'm gonna start with you. If you're Liverpool, do you A, push for the FA Cup, B, push for the league, or C, for the Champions League? You have 3 cups. Which one do you push for?
I mean, obviously, I think the one that you would want, if you have to only win one, the one you want is the Champions League. You know, that's more money for you for winning that. That's obviously a bigger tournament because it is all the best teams in Europe. So I think that's the one to win. I think, obviously, you know, if you're Klopp, you want to get at least 2 of the 3. And just seeing, like, what games are left. I mean, their last game is going to be against Southampton. So as long as Man City doesn't blow it against West Ham, you know, it's pretty much going to be going to Man City. So, I think that they should put all their eggs in the Champions League basket.
Next match we're going to move on to is Manchester City against Newcastle. Man City won the match 5-0. Opening goal was scored by Raheem Sterling, assist by João Cancelo. Raheem Sterling's 10th goal of the season. João Cancelo's 6th assist this season. Laporte also scored a sitter to make it 2-0 in the match. Rodri scored the 3rd goal to make it 3-0, his 5th goal of the season. KDB, Kevin De Bruyne, gets his 6th assist of the season. Great cross to Phil Foden for his 8th goal of the season. And Raheem Sterling, his 2nd goal of the match to make it 5-0 in the 93rd minute, his 11th goal of the season. And another player I want to mention that was fantastic is Jack Grealish. His movement on the pitch is absolutely fantastic. And after the Euros, when he got signed to City, I was a little shocked on the signing. However, the way he's performing is very well. He's pushed the team more forward. Can deliver the ball on the outside, on the wings. Fantastic player on the pitch. And the big question is, will Man City win the Premier League? Any of you guys can start. It's up to you. Dill, you go first, I guess.
I think they're probably gonna win it, but I think Liverpool's focusing more on Champions League right now. And the fact that they tied that game versus Tottenham is big. That was pretty decisive. So as long as Man City doesn't, fumble the bag, I think they'll be all right. I think they'll probably go home with at least 1 trophy, and they'll probably win the Premier League.
Anthony, any thoughts on Man City on the match in general, or just Premier League on their hopes? Do you think they could win the title?
Yeah, I think after the Champions League loss, they could have either gone two ways. They could have motivated themselves from that, or let it kill them. And obviously, they won 5-0, so they didn't focus too much on that. And I think, like we said, I think they'll end up winning. They're not going to drop any points, and I think there's no way Liverpool could come back.
I have a question for you, Gianmarco. Big player. His name's Eric Haaland from Borussia Dortmund. Is moving to Manchester City next season for 60 million euros. He is the most coveted player after, I would say, Mbappe. Major reports before the season he was going to either Real Madrid, PSG, and Man City won the battle for him. What's your opinion on Haaland, and how he will do with Manchester City?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious how he's going to fit into that system because he's not really a typical striker that plays with Guardiola. So it'll be, he kind of reminds me a bit of Ibrahimovic, who didn't fit with Barcelona. So it's how's he going to make this work? I mean, maybe Guardiola's going to change some tactics. I feel like he makes it a little too complicated. But it'll definitely be interesting to see how it fits. For 60 million, it's a steal, obviously. I mean, Sassuolo's asking for 40 to 50 million for Scamacca. So if you can get Holland for 7 million more, why wouldn't you do that? I definitely thought he was always going to go to City because his dad used to play there. So, yeah, I mean, it'll definitely be – I mean, listen, it's just the rich getting richer, right? So it'll be
Absolutely.
Hopefully this will be the guy. I know that's what Man City's main goal is, to win the Champions League, and hopefully he's the guy to help them do it. So
I actually did not know his father did play for Man City. That's an awesome statistic. Thank you, Gianmarco, on that. I like this. I like this move. I think he can make a huge dynamic because they do struggle in those dying moments. You did see that against Real Madrid. That killer-blooded goal scorer, and I think Haaland in a way is that guy. However, I feel like especially in the market and football nowadays, I feel like they throw too much money on these young kids, and I feel like it's been diminishing the sport because these young kids say, "Oh, I got all this money, why should I play?" And I feel like it's going to diminish the play and the value of what this kid can do, and maybe it might be another way, and it might turn around and bite him in the butt, maybe. But I feel like he's going to do very well, and it's going to be a really huge difference to see what he could do alongside Kevin De Bruyne and maybe Gabriel Jesus, Mahrez, Phil Foden. It's going to be interesting how that dynamic's going to work. I'm going to move with you, Dylan. I know you're a big Premier League fan. You're an Arsenal fan. What do you think of this transfer for Man City?
I mean, it was only a matter of time before Haaland went to a big club. He's been probably the hottest prospect in terms of definitely strikers in the past couple seasons at this point. Big, tall, young, pretty much everything you're looking for in a franchise player, and Man City's got the money to do it. I'm not really surprised that he went there. I know there were some rumors about Real Madrid maybe, or Bayern or stuff like that, but I think I'd like to see him play in England. And I think that's the next step for him. Definitely Champions League, and yeah, I mean, I think if Man City wants to win the Champions League, especially off of the heartbreaking loss they just had, this is a way to bounce back and do it, to add a piece like that could, score big goals for them. So congrats to them, but obviously, as an Arsenal fan, I don't want to see Man City get better, but it's kind of the way it goes recently.
Cass, any thoughts on Erling Haaland moving from Dortmund to Manchester City?
Yeah, I was hoping he would stay away and go to Real. Another piece for Man City. They haven't had a true, real striker in a while, since Aguero. And I'm surprised he only went for 60 million, especially nowadays with the transfer prices that they have. Yeah, but I wouldn't declare him how he's going to be a star already, because we've seen a lot of people come to the Premier League and struggle. It's just probably the hardest league in the world. So I think he'll be fine, obviously, because Man City just has so much around him, and I guess we'll see.
Another thing I want to mention is, I don't know if you guys know the news that's been happening, but EA Sports and FIFA, they have been officially, I would say, partnered ways. They've ended their partnership. So at EA Sports now, I believe their new game is going to be called EAFC in 2024. So 2023 will still be called FIFA. 2024 will be called EAFC. Another question I have is, will the game still be the same? What about the players? What about the licensing issues that's been going on? Because I know eFootball, they just signed a couple big licenses for the Serie A. I think Roma's licensed there, Lazio, Napoli. I think Milan Inter was licensed, I think, last year. So it's going to be interesting to see how the licensing go and all that. Another thing I want to read to you is from theguardian.com, and this is the message that says, EA remains having the licenses of 19,000 players, 700 teams, and more than 30 leagues from around the world, as well as UEFA, which means the Champions League will still be a part of the game. Although the big question is the World Cup will not. I know we're all FIFA gamers and we're all video gamers, of just the soccer or football, as you say, in general. I'm going to start with you, Gianmarco. Were you shocked of FIFA and EA Sports partnering ways in their game?
I wouldn't say shocked. I remember, I think it was last year, FIFA was a little disappointed with the product that EA was making. It was becoming it was really just a copy and paste game. And instead of focusing on specific game modes, they were really upset with just the overall focus on just Ultimate Team and stuff like that. So I'm not shocked by this. I'm kind of hopeful that this will drive EA to maybe want to make a better product or push these other gaming companies to want to come out with something. I don't know if 2K would want to get involved with FIFA or something like that. But, we'll see if it entices them to want to make a better game. Because I feel like really since 2017, the game's been kind of stagnant for me. And I only play just out of nostalgia, really. But I don't love it the way I used to.
I like how you said 2K. If 2K got involved with a soccer game, that would be really interesting to see. Because they never did get involved with that. So it'll be really interesting to see. I'm going to go with you, Ann. What do you think of EA and FIFA partnering ways in their license?
Yeah, I completely agree with everything Gianmarco said. I think we're all big FIFA guys, have been for my whole life. So the last few years, I've said it, have just been horrible. They only focus on one game mode, which is Ultimate Team, which makes sense because it brings in the most money. But I hope this can bring a change and we can get a better game in the future because I'm probably not even going to buy the next one. And I've bought FIFA every year since probably 2005. So I do hope this brings a change and we get a better game.
Dylan, any thoughts on EA Sports and FIFA or just anything in general you want to add on the game?
I agree with both these guys. I just want to say I kind of saw this happening. People have been talking about it for like a couple of years now. As it's like FIFA's kind of been taking like a pretty big hit. Obviously, the Ultimate Team mode is huge, but if that's the core reason why this happened, with too much of their focus there and not shifted elsewhere, it makes sense. So who knows if another company is going to pick up soccer, like a 2K or something like that, or maybe they go their own route. I think I'll probably buy the new game just to see what it's all about and maybe see if it's better or worse and make my decision there. But sometimes change is good, so let's hope for some good change with this.
Another thing I want to add, I want to mention to you guys is obviously the biggest tournament in the world is the FIFA World Cup, and not having that in a FIFA game or just a soccer game in general that's a licensed version with all the teams and all the countries and the trophy in general. How is that going to impact the way that EAFC or just other football companies might be moving forward? Let's go with you, Gianmarco.
Sorry. All right. I know in the last FIFA game, they didn't have the license for the Italian national. That bothered me.
So is there an update on the match, Gianmarco?
Yeah, sadly, Juve just scored. So
Who scored for Juve? Just
it looked like it was Alexandro.
No,
Yeah.
another goalie mistake.
Yeah, another huge blunder. I don't know what to say anymore. Looked like an easy.
I'm sorry about that, guys. So obviously, as of now, Inter and Juventus is tied 1-1. Inter scored their goal with Nicola Barella, and Juventus, I believe, Alexandro scored, right?
Yeah, it was Alexandro.
Okay. We will also keep you updated with that match as well. Any thoughts on obviously the World Cup not being in the video game anymore, or maybe could switch to eFootball / PES as they call it, or the new game UFL that might be coming out next year or 2 years from now?
I'm interested to see what actually happens with this UFL game. I've kind of been following it for a little while now. I know they've gotten some partnerships with some teams already. I mean, not like big ones, but I know they got like Rangers and I think
The Rangers,
Monaco.
I think the Ukrainian national team, Celtic, and then there's one English team in the Premier League. I forgot what the name is.
But so yeah, I mean, it looked the gameplay. I saw the gameplay trailer. It looks pretty smooth. The thing is, though, is like, are they going to have the same type of exploits that FIFA has, where like you shoot from a certain spot, it's always going to go in? Your goalies make stupid blunders. Like, if they can keep the bugs and the issues to a minimum, I think it could be a successful game. And if they can steal some of the licenses from EA, that'd be awesome.
Guys, do you want to update us on the Juventus Inter game?
It's 2-1 right now.
The goal for Juventus, was it Blažević?
Yeah.
2-1.
All right, guys. Update alert: Juventus did just score right now. It is the 53rd minute, I believe. Juventus is winning 2-1 against Inter Milan. Goal by Dusan Blažević, the man we thought that was kind of struggling with Juventus right now this season, and Serie A in general, has just possibly scored the game winner for Juventus in the Coppa Italia final.
Did they change the first goal to Morata?
I believe.
I didn't see that yet. Maybe they did.
Yes, the goal. So the first goal, I apologize, guys, out there. Inter scored the first goal with Nicola Barella, and then obviously Juventus and Inter. Juventus ties the game with Alvaro Morata, assist by Alexandro, and then Dusan Blažević scores for Juventus to make it 2-1 in the 54th minute. That game is live on CBS Sports Network and Paramount Plus if you guys aren't watching. We are talking about obviously FIFA and the rights can't be used as the name FIFA, but the main question for me is that, okay, I know it used to be called FIFA. They call it EAFC. This is my opinion of the game. The first year of the game, it's going to be exactly the same thing. I see it flowing the same thing. I would love to see the journey be added again. I love the feature. Phenomenal feature. Maybe I would say, like, I remember on the old FIFAs, remember FIFA 12, FIFA 13, they had like be a player, like be a pro mode. Like you could play as the one player, like your own like player, and then I don't know if you could do that nowadays in the FIFAs. So I'm not sure how that works, but if there's one thing I feel like they should add, it should be that mode. And I know multiple clubs have been showing support of EAFC, which include Paris Saint-Germain, Manchester City, Borussia Dortmund, Chelsea, Real Madrid, Liverpool, and then also I know this is a possibility, but in 2024, EAFC will also have women's club rights as well, such as a couple of pictures I've seen is Man City women's team, Juventus, maybe PSG. So a couple of them just to say as well. And I'm going to go with you, Gianmarco. Let's say if there is 3 games that you have EAFC, UFL, and eFootball, which one do you buy?
To be honest, I'm probably going to go with UFL just because it's going to be free, they said. So I'm not going to want to spend money on a soccer game, especially if they. I feel like I've been so disappointed and let down in soccer, but in hockey too. That it's like I don't want to even give them any more of my money. So I'd be willing to try something new, give it a chance, and hopefully they could eventually start, building some momentum and get people away from EA.
I agree. I like that. I wonder what's going to happen. I did see the player model for Zinchenko. It looks really good. The player models look actually really, really good. My question is, to me, the trailer I saw, it looks more like an arcade game than anything else, compared to more simulation. So I like that a little bit. However, it could be a downside if you want to be more of an authentic football fan, not having the licenses of teams, and obviously instead of having it as Juventus get Piemonte Calcio, as we've seen for EA Sports for a very long time. So it's going to be interesting to see. But I'm going to add with you, Dill. So we have EAFC, UFL, and eFootball. Which one would you buy?
I don't know. What did you say? The last one is eFootball?
Yeah, it's called eFootball. eFootball used to be Pro Evolution Soccer.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what I thought. I might try that one just because it's something new that I haven't played before. Not the same FIFA like the EA Sports FIFA that I've been playing all these years. So maybe give that a shot. And see. Or, you know what? I'll probably, when it gets closer, I'll probably watch some reviews on all of them and see the gameplays and stuff. But I think I'll probably try something different this year just to see if I like it. But I think it was good that you mentioned that the Journey feature. So if anybody could bring that back, I would do it.
And obviously, like later on, we're going to find out more information. So we will do another podcast, obviously, and get our thoughts and obviously like final footage of the game and obviously gameplay. There's not much information obviously released, so obviously we still need to wait and see. If you guys are checking in on the Juventus Inter game, Juventus is winning 2-1 the 57th minute. You can watch the game on CBS Sports Network and Paramount Plus as well. Obviously, Gianmarco, Juventus is leading the match. If you're Inter at that state of mind, what changes would you make throughout the match?
I mean, right off the bat, I thought that they did start a very defensive lineup. So when we took the lead early, I was like, all right, I hope they don't just sit back, and that's exactly what they've been doing. I would like to see them sub out Darmian and bring on Dumfries. I would take off Dzeko. Right, he's been useless since January. I would take off Dzeko for Correa. I feel like when Correa and Martinez are playing together up top, that there's a little more fluidity, a little more speed up front. Yeah, I mean, they listen. They've come back before against other teams. It's not over. I just wish, one thing I don't like about Inzaghi is he waits too long to make his subs. So I'm hoping he looks at this and is like, all right, I got to be more proactive instead of reactive.
If there's one player for me I want to see come off the bench, it's Alexis Sanchez. And I know some people would be kind of against this, but however, Alexis Sanchez is a player. When he does come off the bench, he always scores. And he's been scoring goals left and right off the bench. We did see this in the Super Coppa Italia Finale against Juventus. He scored goals in the Coppa Italia against Roma. And maybe, you know what, he could tie the game for Inter. I would put Alexis Sanchez, take out Dzeko. That's my prediction what's going to happen. And you know what, maybe I would put in Arturo Vidal and see what he can do, or Joaquin Correa maybe for Dzeko. One of the two. But I would put in, let's see, Arturo Vidal. I would change him for Çalhanoğlu. Çalhanoğlu, he's been hit and miss, but Arturo Vidal could be that playmaker, could push the ball and move forward. So we'll see what can happen. Dylan, any thoughts on the match so far?
It's crazy how it changed. Juventus scored 2 really quick goals after being down. I think Inzaghi needs to make a switch. They want to come back and win this game. Maybe a little bit more speed in the front, maybe a little bit on the wings. I don't know what it is, but I guess against a team like Juventus, you can't hold the 1-0 lead forever because they're going to press, and obviously one goalkeeper error always starts the floodgates, and then they seem to open. That's been the story of a lot of games this season, not just Inter, but It is what it is.
There's actually one more match I want to mention. It's obviously the big match is the Champions League final, which will be happening, I believe, 2 weeks from now, which is the 28th of May, I believe. It's on a Saturday. Liverpool and Real Madrid. This will be the second final between these two clubs. The last time these two clubs met was back in 2018. In 2018, Benzema and Mane both score in that match, and they will face each other in this year's final. I don't know if you guys knew this, but Mohamed Salah, he also was injured during that match from Sergio Ramos by that tackle. I believe it was his arm or his shoulder. I don't know exactly, but both clubs are on fire right now, and both clubs 100% deserve to be in this final. So I'm going to go with you, Gianmarco. Liverpool, Real Madrid. Who wins the Champions League final?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Real Madrid wins it. I think that this is really their tournament. I think they always shine under the big lights of the Champions League. So, although I think Liverpool overall are a better team, I think that Real Madrid is going to find a way to edge this out. I would probably say a 2-1 win for Real.
2-1 win for Real Madrid. Who scores?
Go with Benzema. Just because I'm romantic, I'm going to go with Luka Modric.
You said Benzema, Luka Modric, and who's going to score for Liverpool?
I think Salah is going to get his goal. He wants. I know he's on Real, so.
Dill, what's your prediction on the Champions League final? Real Madrid.
I'll go 3-2. Real Madrid wins.
Said 3-2 Real Madrid win?
Yeah. They're gonna come.
And who scores them?
They're gonna come from behind.
Who scores in the match?
Losing 2-1 with like the 90th minute, and then Benzema's gonna score, and then Vinicius Jr. is gonna score.
So you said Benzema, Vinicius Jr.
Yeah.
And who's gonna score for Liverpool?
Mane and Salah.
This is my prediction. You guys might think I'm insane, but I'm going to say it. I think Liverpool will win the Champions League final. I'm going to tell you why. It's because Liverpool, I think what's going to happen is they're going to maybe lose FA Cup final. They're not going to win Premier League. I think that's my opinion. But they're going to push everything for this Champions League final. That's my opinion. And Jurgen Klopp is a fantastic coach. And this is something he wants really bad. He's been dying to get his hands on the Champions League final. And the game winner, I think it will go to penalties. The man that scored the last penalty will be Luis Diaz. Fantastic player, very young. Has been phenomenal for Porto and transitioning to his Liverpool squad. Match is going to go to penalties. I got Benzema missing. I have Benzema missing a penalty in the match. And Alisson will make 2 saves. So penalty shootout, I got it going 5-3 for Liverpool.
Wow.
I know it's out of the blue, but I want to see a penalty shootout so bad. We haven't seen a shootout in a Champions League final since I think what was Chelsea Bayern Munich, right? Chelsea Bayern Munich, what, 2014, 15, I think?
Yeah, Chelsea.
I think so, right?
It was you.
Yeah, it was Chelsea Bayern Munich. Yeah, I think that was the last time we saw it. Where Didier Drogba scored the last penalty. I remember that. I just don't know what year. I think it was 2014, 2015.
Yeah.
And obviously, I'm going to talk to you, Gianmarco. Who do you think is going to win Ballon d'Or?
I mean, I feel like they should. This is my problem with the Ballon d'Or. They don't give it to the guy who, in my opinion, is always most deserving. I feel like last year it should have gone to Lewandowski. It didn't. And this year I feel like it should go to Benzema. But I don't know. I think they're going to go with somebody off base. But I'm going to go with Benzema just because that's who I think has been the best player all season.
What about you, Dill? Who do you think is going to win Ballon d'Or? I know you're a big Benzema fan. Do you think he's going to win Ballon d'Or?
I think whoever wins this Champions League probably gets it. especially because, I mean, Real Madrid won La Liga. It looks like Man City's not going to win. Man City's going to win the BPL, so it looks like Liverpool might come in second in that. But if Liverpool wins this game, I think Salah could take it. He has the most. I'm pretty sure he's leading in goals and assists in BPL, or if not, he's second in assists. But he has the most goals.
I think he's second. I think he is.
But I mean, that's still an awesome season. And then obviously, if they win the Champions League, and he's been the leader all season, I think that could push him above. But if Real Madrid wins, it'll obviously be because of Benzema. He got them this far, and they won La Liga as well, which is one of the toughest leagues in the world to win. So if they give them that, and if they win the Champions League, I think there's no doubt you got to give it to Benzema. And since I picked Real Madrid to win, I'm going to go with Benzema. But like I said, if Liverpool pulls it out and Salah has a big game, I think they're going to go with him. It's between those two, in my opinion. I think De Bruyne is up there too. He's probably like 3 or 4. But because they got eliminated, although he did score a hat-trick today, I think he could be up there, but I think it's between those two.
Like I said, those three, it's one of those three going to win, either De Bruyne, Benzema, or Mohamed Salah. It all depends, in my opinion, whatever player scores in that final. If Benzema scores in the final, he's going to get it, and obviously if they win, / vice versa to Mohamed Salah. Or if they go to penalty shootout, who scores, and that it all comes down to those two guys, and whoever scores in that final is going to win the Ballon d'Or. But if it's me, it's got to be Karim Benzema right now. He came back from behind against PSG, against Chelsea, against Manchester City, and maybe he might do it against Liverpool. Who knows? I got Benzema winning the Ballon d'Or, but obviously, sometimes it's not been the best way. Like, for example, remember a couple years ago, it should have been won by Lewandowski so many years and never won it. So it's like it's time for Benzema to win the Ballon d'Or, and let's hope he should win it. He should win it. If you guys are catching on, Juventus is still winning 2-1 against Inter Milan. Vlahovic scored the goal, and also Alvaro Morata as well. And then obviously for Inter was scored by Nicola Barella. A couple of changes were made as well. Dumfries, Joaquin Correa, and Di Marco are coming on for Dzeko, Darmian, and D'Ambrosio. Gianmarco, you called it. You actually did. You did call it. You said Correa for Dzeko. How do you feel about the switch?
I mean, just so far with the way they've been playing the last 5 minutes, it's looked a little more offensive. But now Juve, knowing they have the lead, they've been dropping back and playing very defensive too, so they have really nothing to worry about. And Cuadrado's doing his typical, let me flop around the floor and pretend I'm hurt, that everybody just killed him. So they're just gonna waste time now and try to finish it off.
Juventus made their change as well. Juventus made their change as well. Zaccaria, Danilo, and Bernardeschi came off for Morata, Bonucci, and Locatelli. I love Locatelli, especially in the Euros. Phenomenal player. I think he deserves more playing time instead of being on the bench. And this has been my biggest concern with Juventus, sometimes with Allegri. It's like you have big star players, but you don't actually play them. Like if I was me, I would have started Locatelli over Zaccaria. But however, that's his opinion. But so far, Juventus obviously they're going to sit back and they're going to hope for the 2-1 win, as we stated.
Yeah, they got to play offensively. So now they just got they got 21 minutes left, and they're just going to try to close it out.
Dill, can you update us on the FA Cup on the Manchester City game? I think.
Yeah. So when I last checked, I think it was halftime. Yeah. So at halftime they were up 3-1, and it is still currently 3-1. Kevin De Bruyne has 3 goals: 7th minute, 16th minute, and 24th minute. So he's not playing around.
Wow.
You know what I want to do? I want to update everyone on the BPL top scorers because I feel like, okay, so yeah, so Mohamed Salah is the top scorer with 22 goals, and Mohamed Salah is the top assister with 13 assists.
Statistics.
So
I would love to see Mohamed Salah like come back to Italy because obviously that's where he started his origin roots. He played with Fiorentina for a little bit,
Roma.
played with Roma. So I would love to see, maybe Salah play in the Premier League. I know the big talks, and I was watching Paramount Plus, and Marco from IFTV said the one guy he wants in Serie A is Raheem Sterling. John Marco, any opinion if Raheem Sterling went to Serie A, where he would potentially end up?
I mean, I think if he did come, I think the only teams that could really afford him is Juve. I mean, maybe Milan if they get these new owners. I'd be interested to see. I feel like he's a little small player, and in Serie A, I would say he's a little more physical. Yeah, but Serie A is a little more physical than the EPL. So I don't know if he would be willing to translate his game, especially it being more tactical than the EPL as well.
I mean, we did see Premier League players switch from Premier League to Serie A, especially Chris Smalling. Fantastic play for Roma, scored a couple of goals. So he, great in defense. So he's another player that made a huge impact transitioning to that. And Marco from IFTV said Scamacca may be going to Milan. I actually see him going to Inter Milan. Actually,
I don't see him coming to Inter. I think what they're going to focus on is trying to get Dybala. But to me, the most important player that Inter's been tied to, and I think he's the guy that they need to get, is Bremer from Torino. He's been the best defender in Serie A. I mean, he leads the league. He actually leads all of Europe in interceptions. Normally that's a midfield.
insane. That's insane.
You wouldn't expect it from a center back, especially a deep lying center back. And I mean, the way he plays, his speed, even when he makes a mistake, he makes up for it with his pace. I think he would be the biggest signing for us, and at that point, with him and hopefully Onana in goal, we hopefully will stop giving up these weak goals to teams.
Dylan, is there anything you want to add? Do you think there's any Premier League player you would love to see switch from Premier League to Serie A?
I mean, not necessarily a rumored guy, but someone I kind of just want to see out of the Premier League in general is Harry Kane. I feel like that'd just be fun.
Absolutely.
I know there's been talks about him going to Real Madrid, him going to Bayern, everyone talking about him going somewhere. But you know what? He kind of reminds me of a little bit better version of, I don't want to say Ibrahimovic, but maybe like a Dzeko, like just a big, tall, like goal scorer type guy. Kind of like an Immobile, somebody like that. Maybe not the fastest, but just always really good positioning. Big guy, tall guy, wins headers, finishes goals. I think he could probably excel somewhere. And who's the striker that just scored for Juventus? Vlahovic?
Vlahovic, yes.
Vlahovic? Yeah, I feel like he kind of can play that way too. So I don't know who would buy him, and I don't even know if he's going to go to Serie A, but that's someone I would like to see leave. At least leave Tottenham, because I think that his team kind of between him and Heung-min Son, that's really all they really have in terms of guys that put the ball in the net. So I would like to see him leave. I've always been a big Harry Kane fan, so I think that he could probably perform better somewhere else. And who knows, if he went to the Serie A, I would like to watch him play.
A last thing before we go off the air is I'm going to go with you, Gianmarco. Watching this match, do you think Inter has maybe a goal in them?
Right now, I would say no. I mean, I know anything could happen. Just look at the way Real came back against Man City. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible. I feel like with them not having a big presence in the box when they're doing all these crosses, it's going to be hard to get a goal that way. They might have to do it more build-up play. obviously I'm hopeful for a goal, but right now I would say it's not looking good.
I know, Dylan, you are a big Arsenal fan, and they are going to the Champions League. What are your thoughts on them going to the Champions League? And if there's one signing for Arsenal you want, who is it?
Well, it's not set yet, but they're in good shape to do it, at least, if things fall out the way they should. Signings that I want them to get, I mean, maybe, I don't know if they're really rumored to get anybody specific, but maybe some defense. I'd like to see them get like a super strong center back or something like that. I know they have some young guys that have been scoring goals recently, like Eddie, I don't even know how to pronounce his last name, Nicotia. He's young and he's been scoring. I think that the offense has actually kind of been there. They've been putting up goals. It's just typical Arsenal fashion, they concede goals to stupid teams and lose that way. Like, they just beat Chelsea the other day 4-2. Obviously the goal scoring's there. It's just sometimes we can't defend. So maybe like a strong defender. I don't know who's on the market right now, but maybe like a big, strong center back would be a nice addition to the team, I think, because a lot of their guys are older. So
another team I want to mention, obviously, is the Premier League, but Chelsea. They've been struggling. I'm surprised, especially with Jorginho, and Jorginho has been struggling over there, and obviously just the morale in general. Like, they lost. I forgot who they lost to. I think it was Everton they lost against. I think it was like 1-0.
Yeah.
Jordan Pickford, the goalkeeper. Oh my, he made a save. I've never seen anything in my life. He made a save off his hand and off his leg. So that kid is absolutely amazing, and I would do anything for him to go to Inter, maybe replacing Handanovic. I know he's getting a little older. If he went there, it would be absolutely fantastic. Maybe Napoli really needs a goalkeeper, especially Ospina. He's getting older. But if there's one player I want to see transition, it's got to be Jordan Pickford.
Yeah, Pickford.
Fantastic in the Euros. Fantastic with he plays for Everton, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he plays. Yeah. But Everton, I was shocked when they won against Chelsea. I was really, really shocked. And that might go down as probably one of the top 25 games in Premier League history, in my opinion. Did Inter just get a penalty?
Yes, they did.
Ladies and gentlemen, update. Juventus leading 2-1 against Inter Milan the 77th minute, and Inter is getting a penalty from the spot. Who takes the penalty? Who's your guy, Gianmarco?
Not Lautaro. It better be Çalhanoğlu, because Lautaro's missed his last, I think, 3 of 4, so I would not let him take this penalty.
You got Çalhanoğlu?
Yeah.
If I'm me,
that's who I would pick.
No, I know he thinks nice, but if it's me, I guess I'm being biased. It's got to be Barella. I would let Barella take a penalty. That's my opinion. I guess just because he scored the first goal to.
Too much pressure.
Okay. So far, is your game ahead, Gianmarco, or no? I'm at the 78th minute.
Yeah, I'm at the 78th minute too.
Okay. All right. So I guess you can announce it if you want when they score. Whatever happens.
And it looks like Çalhanoğlu's taking it.
Çalhanoğlu's going to take the penalty.
Yeah.
What crazy events from the Champions League, being down 2 goals, and now Inter possibly tying the game for the Coppa Italia final. The VAR check is over, and Inter does get a penalty. For Çalhanoğlu is taking the penalty to make the game be tied for Inter to make it 2-2. And it's a goal for Inter Milan. Çalhanoğlu scores. Juventus 2, Inter 2 in the 79th minute. Tie game. What's
Oh, thank God.
What's your emotions, Gianmarco, right now on the Inter goal?
I thought he shot it high. It did it. Oh my God.
It did too. On my screen, it looked like it was out.
Oh my God, that was a perfect placement.
This is incredible, especially seeing the game from last week. We saw, we did a watch along. It was me, Dylan, Anthony. And out of nowhere, when Real Madrid tied the game, Dill, can you hear me? Dill, you can hear us, right? Okay, I'm sorry. So during watch along we had last week or 2 weeks ago, I believe it was, out of nowhere when Real Madrid tied the game, Dylan was like, "Oh, it's a goal, it's a goal," and then we had our other friend named Anthony, not Acast. He actually signed off because he's a Man City fan, and he said, "I feel sick to my stomach." So it's pretty funny that that Inter's tied the game right now. It's interesting.
That replay,
what a match we're witnessing.
He almost missed.
Another thing I don't know if you guys realize, but in the bottom corner where it says Coppa Italia, it says Freccia Rossa. Freccia Rossa in Italy is one of the fastest trains in Italy. They can go from one town to the next in a span of not even 5-6 hours. Actually, to travel to the next country too. It's pretty incredible what they do with their trains over there. Dill, is there anything you want to add on anything at all in the football world?
No, I'm just excited for the Champions League final. Excited to see all of these leagues come to an end. The Scudetto race, the Premier League title race, La Liga's already done, and Bundesliga's already done. It looks like, and I think League One is done as well. PSG clinched that, but we still got Serie A and Premier League, which always seems to be the two most competitive ones, where it's at least pretty close towards the end. It's not Juventus sweeping through everybody anymore, which is nice. So looking forward to seeing that, and probably next week we'll have a better answer for predictions and stuff like that, because we're just getting closer and closer to the end. But enjoy it now, because when soccer goes on a little bit of a break, everyone's going to miss it. So enjoy these last couple weeks while you can, everybody. I think you're muted, bro.
I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry. I got to remember that. Juventus and Inter right now. It's the score is 2-2. What's going through your mind, Gianmarco? If you're as an Inter fan.
I mean, now it's like, you know what? I almost want them to try to score a goal, like push for it before the 90th minute, because going to extra time, then you got to go to Cagliari to play them. They're in it for like now, so you don't want tired legs. Especially, with the title still on the line. But you know what? I'm glad they were able to tie. With the way we've played the whole game, I don't think we deserve to lose. So I'm just glad we were able to bring some pressure on them and make it harder.
And Dylan, I know you mentioned this, and you said that the top two leagues right now are obviously in England and in Italy, the Serie A and the Premier League, and that is true. And if you really do see that, especially in the UEFA Conference League, the semifinal was Leicester, an English team, and Roma, an Italian team, and obviously Roma's in the final of that as well. And I would love to see Roma win the UEFA Conference final, because I believe if they do win, they get a Europa League final, and that gives another Italian team a chance in the Europa League as well. Giorgio Chiellini looks like he's coming off for Juventus and coming in for Arthur. As well in the match. The 84th minute, Juventus against Inter. Inter scored the penalty to tie the game by Çalhanoğlu, and you can watch the game on CBS and Paramount Plus as well. Any last thoughts before you sign off there, Gianmarco, Dylan?
We're good, man.
Let's just hope for like a good finish here, a good exciting finish. Hopefully Inter comes out on top for my sake, but. I'm looking forward to the end of the Serie A season, the end of the Champions League. Hopefully you can enjoy this while we have it for the summer. You're on mute again.
I'm sorry about that. It looks like that's about it. Thank you so much, Gianmarco, for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure. We'll definitely get you back on the next one we do, or in the future, because we also want to discuss the World Cup as well, coming up in November, and obviously with EA Sports and FIFA and the new video games coming out. So we want to get you on talking about that as well. Thank you, Dylan, for always being Mr. Premier League man, and obviously keeping us up the statistics as well. And obviously, a shout out to Acast. He was on the show as well. Fantastic job by him as well. Thank you so much for everyone for joining. We are the 90-Minute Club at the 90-Minute Club. Use the hashtag 90-Minute Club. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and also we're going to upload our video on YouTube in about an hour or so. Thank you so much, guys, for the beautiful game. Is always 90 minutes or more. Ciao, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.